This is the maintenance closet. This is the most cliched hiding place you could have chosen. This is the stupidest hiding place.
Take us to the Bahamas of hiding places.
Listen.
You just kissed me.
How'd you like it?
It felt a little bit rushed.
I know. This is the plan. You get to the elevator, I'm gonna distract him, okay?
So, hello, I'm here with the amazingly talented Emma Stone, who's in the amazing Spider-Man 2, which I just loved. I saw it the other night.
I'm so glad.
And I saw it with my 9-year-old son, and we've not stopped talking about it since. So,
what parts have you been talking about the most?
well, you know, actually, what I loved about the film is it does all its big moments. So there's all the action and stuff, and we talked about that. But it's the emotional heart of the film that we both just loved and connected with. And, you know, that relationship between you and Peter Parker, I mean, that it's just so wonderful in the film.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
And it's great. And to just talk about that because it's, you know, you're now a couple in the film, you know, she knows all the secrets about Peter. He's got nothing to hide from her. But he has some commitment issues, doesn't he? Where does that come from?
I think, well, the commitment issues for Peter are probably, you know, steeped and historical. I'm sure they go very far back. But I think his issue with Gwen in this particular part of the story is that he's made a promise to her father that he'll stay away from her because he needs to keep her safe, which becomes increasingly difficult, as you know. And so I think it's, you know, it's tumultuous for him to be with her, even though he loves her.
And there's absent fathers everywhere in this film, isn't
Everywhere.
That's
I know.
the thing.
Isn't that interesting?
And Peter is not only, you know, trying to find his own father and haunted by his own, but he's haunted by your father as well, which seems doubly unfair.
It's a little much. And he's lost his uncle.
Yeah.
His father figure.
So, and I love that about it. And that connection between the two of you obviously is wonderful. But I was just wanting to know about the script because you bounce off each other so well and, you know, in the humor and the love and all those things. I mean, do you get time to sort of improvise around the script?
Yeah.
And do they give you that, do you ever do that, like, you know, thing of you go down a blind alley with that improvisation and stuff like that?
Yeah, completely. And Andrew is just fantastic to improvise with. I think he could do that, you know, with any character in the world that he's played. He seems to understand every facet of the people he plays.
And you get time, I mean, in a movie like this, from the beginning you started on the film to the end, I mean, how much is that a time commitment? How long?
6 months at a time.
Wow.
For each movie, yeah.
And so, you know, I can see that they would give those big action scenes lots of time, but do you get time inside for the real, because what makes us care about the characters so much is our time with them. Do you really get given that time as well?
I think Mark Webb he was incredibly committed to the love story and the personal relationships of Peter. That's, I think, his bread and butter. So he gives enough space for that to be, you know, explored in a way that's different than most movies. You get more time actually to explore the personal relationships than you probably do on most movies.
And she's a really feisty girl, isn't she? I mean, she's really, you know, she's choosing the story she's on. She's not passive in any way, and that's what I love about her, and that's what I think you bring to the part. I mean, do you sit down with the writers beforehand and talk about the character in that way?
I did sit with the writers beforehand, but they were pretty great because they had seen the first movie. They hadn't written the first movie, and they had written the second one with all of us in mind.
Right.
So that was, their participation was pretty, they knew what they were doing from the very beginning. And we did sit down and talk about different ideas with Gwen, but it's always been that she's an incredibly independent character and that she's the one that makes the choice to put herself in the face of danger. That's right. She's not a damsel in distress. So that was, important too.
Because Peter is haunted by her father, who's saying, "Look after her," and he wants to run away from her because of that. But she has to really look him in the eye and say, "This is me and my choice." I love that scene, by the way. It's just great where she says, "I'm choosing this."
Yeah.
And you don't see. I mean, I don't see much of that in those big action movies. That's what makes it different for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you sit down with the writers, are you saying to them, push this angle more, or is it all there for you?
Not really. It was there for me a lot. That particular scene that you're talking about we did in reshoots because they were afraid it didn't come across that Gwen is really choosing to be there.
Right.
And that's pretty pivotal in that at that point in the movie, that you understand she is putting herself in that position. So we reshot that in January.
Okay,
that scene, and I do think that's really useful in that moment to be reminded that she's...
That is a brilliant scene. I'm so glad they put it in because it really is, for both of your characters, it's a turning point inside that film.
Absolutely.
And as I say, I love the film. I fully recommend it. I think it was great. We both loved it, my son and I.
That's great.
I want to talk about this process, though, the process of selling the film. Not a lot of people know about that. I mean, how long are you on the road with a film like this?
We began March 16th in Sydney, and we'll be done May 2nd.
Wow, okay.
So 6 weeks.
And you go all over the world with the movie?
We've been to Sydney, Beijing, Singapore, Tokyo, now London. We'll leave for Paris tonight.
And do you just see the inside of hotel rooms in those cities, or do you get a chance to go out?
In the past couple of cities, we've actually gotten more time, but on the first press tour, I think I didn't see anything outside of the hotel rooms. And I think beginning now, it'll be a little bit more that way.
And when because you're obviously filming a movie now, or you're planning a movie, do you get taken out of that movie in order to do this process?
Thankfully, I'm not working on anything now. Last time Andrew was working on Death of a Salesman, which was just a completely surreal experience, I think, to be in the middle of that and talking about Spider-Man. But no, I just finished something in December. And no, but this is in your contract.
Yes.
They have first position. So you're not working while you're doing this press. This is your
But you might be preparing a
job.
character or in a different role. You might be, obviously like we all do, you're sort of in the job you're in and then suddenly get taken off to do this part of the job for that other film.
It is so strange.
That's a very strange
And you have to
thing.
remind yourself what the experience was on set because it's been over a year. You've
the
had
other thing,
other jobs in between. You've been with other families and other casts and so it is bizarre trying to come up with anecdotes of what happened on set and what it felt like to be in the scene that day when it's been so long.
Right.
Yeah.
And can I ask you about the design, particularly your costume design? You wear some great clothes. I know you have a designer that you work with and stuff, but do you have input into that? I mean, colors and just design and stuff like that.
Yeah. Deb Scott was the costume designer who was known for movies like Titanic and Back to the Future and all these incredibly designed movies.
And those they have to be practical as well as just look fantastic.
Exactly. They have to be comic book friendly and very human. So she had such great taste and such a great eye, and I was just sort of,
Well, I'm sure you had as much fun as making it as I did watching it. It was just brilliant. So, and just talk about I know you're going to be doing a Cameron Crowe film. Have you done that?
Yeah.
And what's his process like? You said in an interview that he sent you like music and stuff like that.
Yeah, his whole approach to filmmaking is, I think he comes through it through the lens of being a rock journalist. I mean, that he connects to the world through music. So there's a lot of scenes that we would call mana takes, which is spirit in Hawaiian because we were shooting in Hawaii, which is just a close-up on your face, and he plays a song that he feels is right for the moment, and you're just feeling whatever you feel.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Listening to that song, and they're rolling on your face, which is really an amazing experience for an actor because a lot of actors wear earwigs and listen to music. Do you do that?
Yeah.
I've never done that before, and so but this is on set, so the entire crew is
so
involved
they
in your
tears
experience.
as well. Because they're like the grip.
I mean, you're playing. You've got Neil Young playing while you're, or Father and Son by Cat Stevens, and just like preparing for this huge emotional meltdown, and everyone's just kind of watching you prepare to Cat Stevens, and it's really it's special. During takes, all of a sudden, a song will just come on.
Wonderful filmmaker, I love him. What's that project called? I know it's called the Cameron Crowe Project.
It's just Untitled Cameron Crowe Project, and they're going to keep the title.
Okay, and when's that out?
I think it's coming out around Christmas.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you've been working with Woody Allen as well.
Yeah, last summer.
Is that a crazy experience? Because you're a big Woody Allen fan.
It was amazing. It was a dream come true. This year has been kind of a bucket list year. Oh. It was special.
Well, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's out on Wednesday, I think, and it's just fantastic. So I really strongly recommend everyone to go and see it. Great. Thank you, Emma Stone.
Thank you so much.